Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter or Happy Resurrection Day. We are here to celebrate the Christ has risen today and our life as a whole, and to remind us to rise above all these outer experiences into the light of love. I know these past weeks and some of the weeks coming ahead have not been easy for many of us. But let's pause for a minute and fill our minds and our hearts with the light of love and life. Continue to count your blessings as you persevere serenely with hope in your hearts. For Christ has risen, not just today, but every day in your heart. So let's take a moment and pray. Centered in that one's power, the power of God, we hold our hearts open wide, sending healing thoughts and blessings to doctors, nurses, hospital workers, healthcare workers, delivery men, grocers, warehouse workers, delivery drivers, leaders around the world, and all people during this time of world pandemic. We bless those who are in the hospitals healing those who are sick. And we bless those who are out on the roads during this pandemic, caring for us and helping us who have to shelter at home. Bless our friends and our families this Easter morning and every day, our colleagues and all people around the world. And we hold in the hearts love and blessing to those who have lost loved ones during this pandemic, not just during the virus, but for other things as well. And we surround all people with the energy and the power of divine love, bringing harmony, peace, and healing into all of our thoughts and minds. I especially give thanks for the safe return and healthy return of my Aunt Gwen. She's back here in the island in quarantine, but all is well, and we bless others who came in and who were sick, and we hold you all in the light and the healing love of God. So we recognize today the risen Christ in all people. And I bless my Unity Bermuda congregants, and again all people in the world, as we gather together virtually, but fully connected to one another, surrounded in the light of God. Amen. I want to begin my talk today with a song by Harold Payne entitled Something Wonderful. And I hope it gets you grooving in your seat and feeling joy in your heart on this Resurrection Day. As I prayed with Reverend Paulette today in our prayer, this week in our prayer call, I asked for something non-traditional for this Easter Sunday, because there's going to be a lot of services out there online. And I wanted to do something a little different because it's just me. So listen to this song and let something wonderful happen in your soul. And you can groove with the beat, because Christ has risen today.
Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now.
Yes, it is.
Something wonderful.
I can see you beating your butt in your head.
Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful wonderful.
Something wonderful.
It's
It's
happening to me.
Christ rising in your heart.
Right now.
Right here, right now.
Oh, something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me. Right here, right now. I can feel it in my body.
Feel it in your body.
I can feel it in my soul.
Feel it in your soul.
I can feel it in my heart.
Feel it in your heart.
And it won't let go.
Yes.
Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me. Right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful.
Feel
Something
it.
wonderful is happening to me.
You are transforming
Right
as the
here,
Christ
right
is rising within you.
now. Oh, this love inside, we can let it shine. Oh, something wonderful.
Something wonderful.
Something wonderful is happening to me. Right here, right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me. Right here, right now. Ay, 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 something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me. Right, gonna happen to me. It's happening to me. Something wonderful.
Something wonderful. Something right here, right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Something wonderful.
Now, don't you feel the joy of that something wonderful right here, right now? After you've listened to that song, it's Resurrection Day. Something wonderful has happened right here, right now. Yes, we're not dressed up in our Sunday best, or you could have if you wanted to listen to the service. Put on the makeup and the dress, and you might have bought it already, and just enjoy this virtual Easter Sunday, whether you're watching something or listening to me or anyone else online. But it's happening right here, right now, within you, and will continue today and tomorrow and the next. Our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, says resurrection means the lifting up of the whole man, all of what we are, our mind, body, spirit, soul, into Christ consciousness. This creates a renewal, a transformation of your mind. That's the something wonderful. It's not just today. It's an organic change that takes place daily. Daily. Think about that. Transforming your life spiritually. You get to let go of old limited personal ideas because they don't continue past this resurrection. We get to choose to rise up in consciousness, let go and let God. And we get to surround ourselves and lift ourselves up to a larger life, a universal love and life, where our relationships are more meaningful. We get this time during this pandemic to really connect with our family. People spend a lot of time apart, and this is a time when we can rise up in consciousness and embrace the oneness and connect with the one God, the one love. And by doing this, the divine law is fulfilled by love universal. This Resurrection Day is explained a little further in our daily word reading for today of Christ is risen. And it says, Early in the evening on the day of resurrection, Jesus, unrecognized, joins two of his followers as they journey from Jerusalem toward the nearby village of Emmaus. Accepting an invitation to stay and share a meal, Jesus takes bread, blessing and breaks it, and gives it to his host. In that moment, their eyes were opened. They recognized Jesus. And alive in their hearts, he vanishes from sight. Later, the two explained to others how the risen Christ became a living presence to them in the fellowship of breaking bread. That's like our Easter brunches. We break bread together. And our consciousness is open wide as we're transformed today and every day. Easter celebrates the risen Christ, an immortal present freed from all limitation, awaiting discovery in every person and life event. And Luke 24:31 says, "Then their eyes were open, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight." Think about that. Their eyes were open. And as this song was talking about being transformed, we get to know that something wonderful is happening in our lives. We were asleep, and now we have awakened into a new light, a new reality. This pandemic has truly given us a new reality. Things will never be what they were before. Things will change even more than we ever envisioned. But think of it as something wonderful. Many people have turned to praying again and looking upward to an ascended spirit, which is really within them, because the Christ has risen today from within you. That had happened. So open your eyes even wider and see that different light and reality. The old has passed away and a new emerges right here, right now. As I said today, I asked for inspiration for something a little non-traditional for this Easter service, as you've heard already from that song. And the other thing that came to me as my eyes opened on Thursday morning, I heard the song Up, Up and Away in my head. And I remember saying, where did that come from? And so I decided, as I was guided by God, to look up the lyrics for that song that was written in 1967 by Jimmy Webb, recorded by the Fifth Dimension, and then sung by the Supremes, if anybody remember them, in 1968. And as I read the lyrics, I said, wow, there's my Easter Sunday, my little non-traditional up, up and away, my beautiful balloon. Look how that ties in with Resurrection Day. I have balloons on my screen as we see them moving upward and outward. Yes, this song is a love song, up, up and away. And that love song is about us as well, as we love the Christ presence within us. And we rise in consciousness. And it talks about in this song, floating together among the stars where the world is a nicer place. Think about that. We can envision a nicer place free from this illness. Suspended, it talks about, under a canopy. Look at those clouds and the sky. And in those clouds we search for a star to guide our way. Jesus was that star that has arisen in us today and every day, to guide us through this pandemic, lifting us up and away, clearing the skies of this virus. During this Lenten season, we've talked about feasting and fasting. We've been feasting on positive thoughts, better health and safety for all those people out there working during this pandemic. And immersing ourselves from feasting from pain and suffering, and hearing about all those who are suffering in our world right now. We each want a beautiful place in our world and in our minds where our lives are filled with joy, calmness, and our dreams do come true. Yes, it doesn't feel like it right now, but Jesus' resurrection confirms that this will pass and our dreams will continue to come true. So rise, dream, shift your consciousness, fly and fly up, up and away, for you are a beautiful child of God. He embraces you in His love. Open your hearts and minds. Shift and lift in your consciousness. Move the clouds away that have darkened your days into the radiant light of God that emanates everywhere all the time. And while you're floating up there in your consciousness, watching those balloons fly or in that balloon up and away, celebrate the divine in you that is renewed and resurrected each time you roll away the stone of doubt and fear from the entrance of your heart. Step forth from your tomb of limited thinking and live in the boundless realization that you are free to fly like a balloon. In this resurrected realization of your oneness with Christ, you can pass unharmed through this pandemic and heal others as you go with joy, life, and love. Christ is risen today. This brings a message of peace. We now walk the Christ way. We now walk the Christ way. And when we pray, we know the truth. Christ is risen. So this Easter dawns with new hope, with a bright promise. It is a day of rejoicing, a day of triumph, a day of victory. Christ is risen and all things are made new. So lift up your spirit. Fly, fly away into the light and love of God. My closing affirmation says, I am the resurrection and the life. Christ is risen. I rise triumphant, splendid, glorious, and free. So we're going to go into a meditation, but it's going to be a little different, as I said the service was going to be. We're going to listen to a song called Roll Away the Tomb by Susie Hatcher, another Empower Music singer. Listen to the words as you meditate. Take the words with you as if I was speaking them. And when you close for today at the end of the service, take those words again and play the song if you choose. So roll away the tomb. Breathe in and out. Breathe.
As I roll away the stone, I see you have come to give new life to me. So I'll have it more abundantly. Precious life,
Continue to breathe.
blessed life, eternally. Imprisoned by the errors in my thinking, my jailers, they'll smile and walk away. Then you came in with a key and helped me see the light of day. And as I roll away the stone, I see you have come to give new life to me. So I'll have it more abundantly. Precious life, blessed life, eternally. I need to walk your path up to that hilltop, 'cause I'll never really live until I die. To everything that holds me down, to all that keeps me bound to I. And as I roll away the stone, I see you have come to give new life to me. So I'll have it more abundantly. Precious life, blessed life, eternally. I needed something I could lean on, and came to rest upon your tender love. Soon I grew strong enough to push that rock that looked so tough, and felt the sunlight on my face again. And as I roll away the stone, I see you have come to give new life to me. So I'll have it more abundantly. Precious life, blessed life. As I roll away the stone, I see you have come to give new life to me. So I'll have it more abundantly. Precious life, blessed life, eternally.
Let's take another deep breath in as we roll away the tomb and know that Christ has risen from within us. Breathe in and out. Think on those words. And on the next breath, let's open our eyes and come back to this place and to this time as we close our service with a prayer of protection. If you know the words, say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we are richly blessed right now. Amen. Namaste, everyone. Happy Easter.